Hello and welcome to Coffee and Bonsai with Tom. Yes, my voice is back. I have a very special episode for you today. We're going to do the Mid-Summer Bonsai Bench Tour, which is always exciting. People love it. Um, I might call this the Tour of Shame because I've been away for about a month and I have done zero maintenance on any of these other than ensuring they stayed alive with water. So, normally when I do this midsummer tour, everything looks in pretty good shape. It's probably going to be a little rough today. Everything really needs pruning. On the positive side, the automated watering system worked really well. I think I sort of aired it's impossible to have one schedule to water all the trees. Like when I'm watering them myself, I water each tree to its needs, so it's a perfect amount of watering. Obviously, can't do that with an automated system. So I think I was shooting to give them a little less water than I thought they needed, but I feel like I gave them a bit more. And I also put up shade cloth as sort of another sort of protection from them getting too dry. And I think as a result, they actually got too much water. So they've been living in the lap of luxury. And I got a lot of long internode growth. And in the weeks to come, we will be taking care of that. But yeah, exciting episode. I'm going to take you on a quick tour through all the trees and hang on to the end because I have two exciting surprises. One, a very unusual bonsai, which you can have a chance to win. And another one, I have some very special friends who are dropping in um, for a guest appearance. Then you don't want to miss that. So let's get started. We'll start out here on the left, and you can see in the front I have this wonderful sort of semi-cascade Portucary Afra. This is variegated, and it's doing really well. I've got a little fisherman there I've added, and this one behind it I call my fizzy jade. I can't remember the name, but this gets beautiful pink or white flowers, and it was in really bad shape coming out of winter, so I'm really glad to see it's robustly healthy now. It's really recovered, and so I'm happy to see that. I have a couple of small trees here, the island in the sun on the left and this candy stick on the right, and I put them in a scape root and they a pot, and they have really dug into that. I was concerned since I'd be gone, and they happily expanded. So I think I may be repotting those soon. So look forward to that. Here's one. I love this pot. Really nice tree. I think one of the um, viewers call it a dyad. It's a nice tree, cork bark, nice pot. And let's see. Here's a couple that I've started. Like this was from just a large cutting, and you can see it's taking off. It's a cute little kind of a light blue pot, robin's nest egg maybe. And the one beside it is this is a pot that a lot of folks like, little oval blue. It's got a lot of weathering and patina on it, and a cute little tree that is really wanting to be a broom style, I think, but it's got a lean to it. It's nice. And here's one I have not done much at all with this. This is, it looks, I call it Medusa, and I put a little brass dragon in there. Dave, one of my longtime viewers, was telling me about how people like to find little things in there, and I'm finding he's correct. But I'm kind of enjoying just the wild nature of that one, so I'm going to let it go for a while longer here, and we'll see. Here is one, I think I call this my oak tree. It's another Portucary Afra cork bark. And yeah, I think it's got some long growth on there, but looks really healthy. So this guy also needs a bit of a prune to get rid of some of that upward growth. Next, we have this sort of windswept in the back there. I've got some sacrifice branches to thicken up the base, but this one's coming along nicely. Looks really healthy. Needs some wiring maybe. Here's a little yellow one, yellow pot. It's really tight growth on this. I really want to open it up, so I think that one's going to get some heavy-duty pruning. And here's one we pruned severely last time on the show, and it's looking good. There's some more jades. This is a tray. Got my Spanish jade there, and some other. This is a tight-growing variety, and I have all these on playlists, so you can check the channel. And here's a triad of trees. This one is in this beautiful kind of cobalt blue pot and looks really, really healthy. And this is my Portucary Aria. It gets kind of a yellow tinge to it, and yeah, it's growing really well. So also needs a prune. It's got a lot of straight up growth, but it's fattening the trunk there, so it's all good. Looks really robust, healthy. And the third one of this triad is what I call my river jade, and this one is really filling out. It's got a nice full look to it. It really looks like a, I don't know, like a ficus or a banyan tree or something to me, the way this one grows. But it's always been one of my favorites. I really like that tree. And here is another little port that I just started from a cutting. So you get a nice chunky base in a cute pot, and it's coming along nicely. Needs a little refinement, but it looks good. And here's my original jade. Here you can see all this growth on the left. Um, it's doing really well. It's full and robust. It's getting some thickening on there. Just really, really happy with how this tree grows. But I will point out on the left, you can see all this growth. And this is an early thought for the day is, you really need to rotate your trees because you'll see several as we go through this tour where a lot of the growth, I mean, they sat with no turning for 1 month, and that definitely affects them. So keep that in mind. Here's my little Dragon Mountain Jade, Lilliput Mountain. Also needs a prune. And I've got some more variegated over here, but let's skip over to this guy, which is my root beer barrel jade. I was trying to fill out the top, which that is now happening. So I'm grateful for that. And here we have a little variegated. This is also a brand new cutting that has really just taken to this pot. It's growing like crazy. So it also needs a little refinement. I just love these tiny little trees. They really just make me happy. And a quick look at my Crassula ovata forest. This is the one in the red pot. This is just your standard jade, looking good. And this is my Golem Jade, looking fabulous. It's got a nice growth to it. There you can see the watering system. And where's my other forest? Well, here, let's take a look at this. This is a desert rose, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this one, so I'm slowing it down. This one, it was interesting. I have tried to give this away. I was going to give it to Nigel, actually, and he sort of gave up on these trees. And I haven't given up on this. It's slowly coming into frame here, but this one is I've never had it bloom, and to me, many of these leaves were on last year, so I've been treating it a little differently every winter to try to get it to bloom. But I think the issue is we don't get enough hot, long weather to get this to bloom. So this year, I think I'm just going to put it straight under on my shelf and give it 80-degree heat when I bring it in for the fall. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's a nice, it has a nice baobab style. It's got this huge fat trunk and is, beautiful pot from a local pottery maker here in Seattle. And I just really like it. I've never pruned it. This is all just natural growth from, over 2 years now. So it's it's an interesting tree that I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm dying to see what color the flowers are, but I'm amused by it. And I'll give you one more look at this one. I'll kind of go down, and because it really is, I don't know if the camera, you don't see 3 dimensions, but it really is an impressive looking tree. So I hope it blooms. I think I figured out how to keep it alive, and that's the missing element. There's my Buddha statue. Here's one of my larger jades. We gave this a severe pruning right before I went on vacation. It's recovering nicely. I'm just letting it grow. Maybe give it a tiny bit of tuning here and there in the next week. And there's my other forest, which is also, I gave it a severe pruning. It's recovered nicely and is enjoying the summer. I got kind of a bulb on here. I thought I'd get some growth out there, but I may just have to cut that off. Let's take a look at some of my variegated. This is large material that's really starting to grow nicely now. This one needs a little bit of pruning, but it's got a nice shape. And I've got a bunch of these that I acquired from Connie. And this one I cut way back, I guess last year maybe at this time, and you can see it. Or maybe it was in the winter. But I think this one has a lot of promise. So it also has some really long growth from all that wonderful water it was getting. And so we'll have that one take the next steps. This one too, just a little. I'm telling you, it's a tour shame, a little ragged looking. But you know, it all contributes to uh, the trunk thickening and whatnot. The issue you want to worry about is you don't have too many where the branch goes from 1 to 3 because you'll get some swelling and then that's no fun to deal with. Here's one that's finally taken off. This tree basically did nothing for a year, which sometimes these variegateds do, but it's really starting to put on some growth now. And I call this one the Dancer, and I think it has some good potential. So next up, let's see, you can see some of the growth on this one really long, but next up we have my tall tree. That's what I'm trying to style this one as, and it's really recovered. It also had a severe pruning, but you can see it's filling out. I'd like it to have more growth coming to the front, but we'll do some pruning and maybe encourage it to do that. But yeah, it's super healthy. Nice shiny glossy leaves is what you're going for. And here's my big mame tray, which just looks like a jungle at this point. You can barely see the individual trees. In fact, you really can't. So yeah, this one will get a lot of pruning. Let's see, take a look at a couple of them here. This thing is usually like the size of a thumb, so that really needs to be cut back. And this is one of my favorites. It's a little variegated, semi-cascade in this wonderful brown pot, and it's really, really happy out here. And this one in the back, this is another semi-cascade in a tall pot, and yeah, you can see the aggressive growth just totally takes all the charm out of it. So we will be fixing that quite soon, but yeah, very healthy. And let's see, we have my mammoth Portuguese Afra forest. We recently just added some trees in here and kind of fleshed it out a bit. It's really enjoying this. I have a little Buddha that I put in there. Couldn't resist that. Just relaxing, having some tea in there maybe. I'll take you down and give you a better shot at it. You know, you can sort of barely see him in there, but I'm just going to let this one grow for a bit and recover. It was not doing so great, so it looks like it's doing well now. And take a look at a couple of my forests. I can lift this thing. This is a Portuguese Afra forest. Basically, these were all just cuttings from stuff that I'd cut back. And it's looking good. You know, it needs a little tune-up, but it's actually not too bad. But like I said, like the other trees, a lot of long growth with no internodes. I'm going to turn it around here, get some growth coming out the front, and I sort of have a fix this little man working on his bonsai. And here's sort of the sister tree to this one. It's a sort of same style but variegated, a little forest. You can see these grow much slower, but I feel more compact, and it's one of the few variegateds. I just love how these look. Most variegated trees I'm not that crazy about. They look sort of artificial to me. This one looks like a blooming tree, or it has snow on it or something. I really like the variegated dwarf jades. Take a look at a few more of these large cuttings I got from Connie a couple years ago. They're really starting to branch out now. I'm so excited because I think I can really move them forward and start to define some layers and branches. So I'm just letting them stretch a bit, and then we'll get to doing that. A lot of work to do here in the midsummer. Here's another one. It's in this, I love this little Korean purple pot. I have some correction to do. I was hoping these stumps would grow something, so I got to decide if I'm going to keep waiting that out or just cut them off and work with the center, which is, you know, certainly an option with that. Maybe a smaller pot if I do that. We'll see. Here is another Golem Jade. I cut this one back. This was a large cutting off of Golem Jade. I think I've shown probably in my playlist, and really short and squat, and I really need to prune this one back so you can see the trunk, and I think that'll be a lovely one. Maybe also a repot that into a more shallow pot. And let's see. Oh, so here we have, this is another large stump, variegated stump. that I think is going to have quite a lot of character, as it goes forward. That one is not as aggressive growing as some of the other ones I had. And let's see what else. Here's a couple of little jades, just for fun. Just trying to see what I can do with this. It's got a nice sized trunk, interesting shape. I don't know where that one's going to go longer term. Let's see. What else do we have here? This is a cutting from a cutting, maybe from a cutting, in this cool dragon pot by Candied Clay, maker here in Seattle, a potter. And yeah, it's actually leafing out quite a bit, so we'll see where I go with that one. And let's see. Excuse me. This is kind of another cutting of a cutting. I thought it'd make a nice upright tree. It came off the top there where it would have gone straight up to make that one a windswept. And yeah, it is really taken off and needs some little TLC and get it back on the track to being a pleasing looking tree. And oh yes, so this is the name escapes me right now. It's another Portuguese Africa. It's like a cream colored leaf and an interesting bark. Little forest, four trees now. I had one spring up. So that one needs some pruning as well. And let's see if I can pick this thing up. I think I called this one my mother tree. This is another variegated. And this one I kept warm all last winter. So you can see that they don't really need a rest. I mean, this thing is going gangbusters. Uh, really needs to be straightened out a bit. But I really like this tree. And so where it's got a nice Japanese drum pot. It's full of water. It's quite heavy at the moment. Let's see. Here is this is a Lilliput. Another little forest in sort of a lava mountain pot. And let's see, it needs a little bit of a prune. I've never been too crazy about this one, but I just keep working on it and we'll see what happens. It's quite heavy. The pot itself, I swear, weighs like 8 pounds. And that is it for the two main benches. There we go. You can see in the back that tree, we're kind of getting a little bit of a fall look already, or end of summer. It's looking kind of tired, changing color. I have a few more here on the side I can show you. These are, they're not quite bench worthy. These are large cuttings. I think I have a video coming up with this. This is an experiment that so far does not seem to be working out, but you can see some of these others that we did recently in the channel within the last month are coming along. This one is in a dragon pot, very unusual. It's still not cooking with gas, but this one is really recovered. It's got a lot of nice plump leaves. This was the largest large stump-like cutting that we worked on recently, and it's looking great. I'm very happy. Look at the size of this thing. It's going to make it. Again, these were from Connie. She runs a kind of a landscaping business or something like that. But anyway, she gets access to this kind of material fairly often. This one still is, kind of in the gray zone. I don't think that one's going to make it. That was one of the mammoth bonsai we took. And here's another one I got from Connie. Just huge, huge stump. Not doing much so far, so we'll keep watching that. Sometimes they just take a long time, especially if they don't have any leaves. Like the large one had a lot of leaves, so it really took off. And there is my Christmas cactus, so hopefully that'll bloom when I bring it in at the end of fall there, or kind of early winter, depending on how things work out. And so that is the little bit of island of Dr. Moreau there. And I have some growing beds. These are just large flower pots where I put stuff I don't know what to do with, cuttings. And these have access to kind of as much water as they want. And wow, look at that. I mean, they've really grown. It's kind of a mess in here. And I have to go through these. I'll be cutting these way back and sending out cuttings to folks. I will send out some emails here soon. But even some of these other jades need to be cut back, and I think I need to give some of them away. We have a great neighborhood plant exchange, pots, all kinds of stuff. And so, I just don't know what to do with some of these. So I'll take them over there. I don't need more and more of these Crassula ovatas. I save one or two in case something dies for replacement. But and this is I thought it was a ripple jade, but I'm not sure what it is actually. Here's one of the large. Can't really see the trunk from here, but it's recovering well. And this is my large crazy forest. I just put a bunch of cuttings in here over the winter when I was pruning indoors, and just brought them out here. And man, they have really taken off. Haven't really done much with them. There's sort of a bee floating around there. Um, but yeah, you can see, summer has hit some of these hard. This is the very large. I'll put a link to the video playlist. But these were all no roots, just huge Crassula ovata cuttings that I just shoved in here about a year ago now, I guess it was. And boy, you can see they have just taken off. Same thing with this one. I had cut it down to nothing, no leaves, probably about this time last year, and it has really recovered. There's another Golem Jade. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. And here is another one of those beds. This is my variegated Golem Jade. I'm glad to see it taking off. It took it a while, but now it seems to be cooking with gas, so I'm hoping it'll really take off. This one, it's kind of hard to see the trunk, but it was a Golem Jade with some really interesting trunks, so I don't want to get rid of it. And this is a plant, I can't remember what it's called, but it kind of suffered some squirrel damage. So, and these are just some other trees I just stuck in here. So I wasn't sure what to do with them. They were small enough I didn't want to leave them on the main bench. And here is a cedar. This whole tray was full of these. Inspired by Nigel, I'm working on one of these. I'm going to try to do a cathedral style, and we'll see if I ever take it out of this pot and put it in an actual pot. And I have another one of these, but it's over here to the other side. And here is Mabel on the Seattle summer Serengeti. All our grass dies here in the summer because we don't get rain for sometimes a month and a half, but she doesn't seem to mind. And here is the last of my kind of growing beds. Sometimes I just shove cuttings in there. And, various things. I love these little square pots because they get escape roots and kind of go crazy. But then when you bring them in the fall, you can just cut off the roots, and, they'll sort of make it throughout the winter, and drag themselves into spring, and you put them out here again and they get really healthy and do the same thing all over again. And that's kind of it for the tour. So like I said, I have a couple of special things for you. I saved one very special bonsai, which I don't think I've shown on the channel before, but my memory is certainly not what it used to be. So if I have, I apologize. But even if I have, there's a twist to it. But yeah, I just can't get enough. I come out here every morning, drink my coffee, and these things just chill me out along with my bamboo. I highly recommend bamboo. Hear the wind blowing through it. It's really nice. But definitely make sure you put it in a container because it will go nuts. And let's get on to the unusual tree. And here it is. This is a crocheted bonsai. Requires no watering, no sun. I'll try to turn it around here and get a good look at it. I gave, when I was going through my cancer treatment, I was working on trees, and one of my wife's co-workers showed an interest, so I sent a little tree in for her to give to him, and then he made this for me and gave it back to me. But I think if I pruned it right there, that would be, if it were a tree, that's what I would do. I would cut it down about halfway, and then maybe the top, or maybe it just needs a little wire to straighten it out. But it's very interesting. And it's been very dear to me, but I'm a big believer on if I just don't really use it that much. I don't have a lot of space, and I have okayed it with him that it is okay for me to give this away. So if you folks, if you want this, put a comment on this video saying, I don't know, crochet. I don't even know how to spell it, but as long as I can decipher what it means. And I will, after a month, I will do a drawing and just pick a winner out of there, and I will send this to you free of shipping, and you can enjoy it because I really think it's such a cool thing. Hello, Mabel, that it really needs to be enjoyed by somebody rather than stuck in a closet. I wanted to come back. As I was filming this, uh, it rained, and look at this. This is maybe my second thought for the day is trees love rain. I don't know if it's the temperature, like a warm summer rain, they get entirely drenched over the course of maybe a couple hours, and they really pop, especially succulents. You can see the base gets wet. They really, really get a good drink, and the leaves just get really plump. They almost feel like a jelly bean. And you can just see the tree smiling. They really, really enjoy this. And I wanted to show you just a quick pass through. I mean, they looked healthy before, but wow. There's something about natural summer rain, and maybe it's rainwater. I should just move to that. But I mean, the colors pop, the leaves get super glossy, like even more so than regular, and they really, really just are, like their best possible selves. They really are. The trees just really enjoy rain. So I always recommend, well, I think any tree, but in particular jades. And I haven't had trouble in the summer. Like as long as it's warm, they don't seem to care how much water they get. At least I haven't seen that. Let them get some natural air and sunlight and rain, and boy, they really reward you with just robust health. Um, So yeah, that's another thought for the day. It's kind of hard to believe actually when you come out here after a fresh rain and look at your trees. I mean, it's like nirvana. So that's about it for today. I'm going to finish this tour, and as I promised, I have some special guests. A couple of friends enjoying summer and having a good time. And with that, I thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. This is Lulu and Mabel. Great friends, enjoying a little hammock rambunctiousness.